I'm here to talk to you about the power of words and the stories that they can create. Our language, which sets us aside from other species, is such a gift in so many ways. It also can be potentially very dangerous. And I encourage people to think about the words that they use like a hammer. If you think about the visual image of a hammer, it can be used to build unbelievably beautiful homes, beautiful furniture, make incredible creative sculptures. But the same hammer can be used to destroy, completely splinter and fragment. It's the same thing with our words. Our words can be uplifting and supportive and compassionate and kind. And our words can be demeaning, demoralizing, critical, and judgmental. So it is so important for us to be aware and think about how we're using our words. Just the way you think carefully about how you're using a hammer. If you're going to hit the nail on the head or hit your thumb. If you're going to build something or accidentally destroy something. And often with words, certainly words are used in a destructive manner, purposefully sometimes. But my interest is in the words we use when we speak to children. And that not intentionally, we can have a huge negative impact on the very children that we adore because of the words that we use. And I'm not saying that we're in complete control of how kids grow up. But think for a minute about a beautiful little baby, just born as a ball of love and light. No language, no expectations, no goals, no milestones, no achievements they need to earn, no medals they want to win. Just a being of love, experiencing the present moment in every moment. And then language comes into their life. And at a very young age, in order to keep them safe, language includes a lot of no and don't. Be careful, watch out. Those are constructive ways to use language to keep children safe. But it can also easily become, inadvertently, damaging to children's feelings of self-worth. When they hear, "Why would you do such a thing?" Or, "I thought you knew better than that. What's wrong with you? You should have known that was a bad idea." There are millions and millions of judgmental statements that we make with our words that allow children then to create a story about themselves, which is, "I'm not good enough," or "I don't feel safe," or "I'm not worthy." When patterns of words are used over and over and over by caregivers, by teachers, by playmates, some children, and every child is wired differently, so some children respond to words in different ways than their brothers or sisters. But in order to stay alive, they start to think, "I'm not worthy, and I need to do something so that I still get fed and housed." It's instinct to get attention and figure out the way that you're supposed to behave to keep that attention so that you stay alive as a species. So there's many ways that kids might respond to that. People pleasing is a big one. Overachieving, or perhaps underachieving to prove a point. Say, yeah, I'm not worthy. Let me show you. Let me show you how unsmart I am. Or, can I get your attention by doing everything you ask and doing more than you ask? In any case, it's a story that the child takes ownership of because of the way he's spoken to, he or she, by people in his life. And although that story may have been very successful when he was living in a home, it may have worked to keep him alive in that situation, whatever the situation was in the home. He adopted behaviors to keep himself safe. Then when they grow up, become adults, move out on their own, we forget to have discussions about the fact that that story or that identity that kept you safe in that particular home environment or school environment or playground environment doesn't need to stay with you. It's just words. It's the words that somebody threw out there and then you took them to be part of your identity at that time to keep you safe. Now you can rewrite that story. Because the bottom line is, the story is not true. Unless the story is, I'm here and I am of value and I am worthy of being loved, that's the only story that's true. That's why we're so drawn to babies when we see them. They don't have anxiety, they don't have depression, they don't have fears and phobias. Well, a few fears that are instinctual. They're not worried about the future. They are of value because they're here. They are worthy of our love because they are here. That never changes. That baby's body changes, but who they are inside is still the being of love who has value and is worthy of being loved. What changes is the story that they create because of the words in the environment around them. So my hope is that we all think very carefully about the words that we use and that we choose words that show compassion, understanding, empathy, and no judgment, and no criticism except if it's helpful and positive. So thank you for treating words like a hammer and being very careful to use it to build beautiful things. Thank you.